Professor Babaie, it has been a great pleasure having you here for the rum discussion on from courtyards to coffee shops. The lecture that you gave was outstanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But one of the issues that you raised was that Isfahan was the global forerunner of urban public space development, where the public space becomes sites of sociability and interactions of highly diverse group of the population, from Zoroastrians to Armenians to Jews, Muslims, and also it's a site which increasingly has the site of shopping and strolling. Could you explain this and compare it with the global?
Yeah, sure. So a few things to refine first. One is that Isfahan is not the forerunner, but that, as I said in the lecture, this is a period when Istanbul, Isfahan, Delhi, and Beijing, for instance, so all in Asia,
Simultaneously,
they are all developing these sites of sociability, and people are from different backgrounds coming together, that you would have coffee houses, you would have public spaces for strolling, greening of the cities, and so forth. What Isfahan represents, which is distinctive from the other ones, although Beijing has some of that, is the very planned approach to the city. So you have a sense of planning, master planning. It's not just haphazardly building this and then saying, oh, let's build that, and now we can put coffee houses here.
Urban engineering, sort of.
It's urban engineering. It's greening of a city. It's a very green city at this time. Istanbul, for instance, doesn't have a maidan like this. This was the Meydan Asp. It was a hippodrome, which becomes then the main social space of the city. Istanbul has that hippodrome from the Byzantine times, and it remains the city's sort of center, but not where you would have coffee houses and shops and so forth. So Isfahan does represent something distinctive in terms of engineering the urban layout. The precursor to it is actually Qazvin, but on a different scale, much less developed scale. And so there is something about the mapping this a city with a public square, its major functions, the mosque, the palace, the marketplace, and social space of encounter, and that Chaharbagh, the promenade where you stroll up and down with all those amenities. That concept is truly extraordinary and makes it a place first and foremost for the people of Isfahan. Now, the people of Isfahan from the earliest period, the earliest settlements were Jewish and Zoroastrian. But those two communities are not as much part of this cosmopolitan picture we get as the Armenians, who were forcibly moved to Isfahan for the purposes of developing silk industry and trade, or the Banyan, what they call the Indian merchants, who are very numerous in Isfahan, or the Europeans who come and go constantly because this is a very lucrative market. So it's global in the sense of its own image of itself and the goods that come and go.
Well, thank you very much. The other aspect of your presentation was the emergence of these coffee houses.
Right.
And in the literature on coffee consumption, there is a close link between drinking stimulants and the emergence of bourgeois society, beginning of modernity. Could you say anything about that?
Yeah, I think that's very much a European narrative. The narrative of modernity being essentially
working
rooted,
hard.
rooted in imagining modernity being a European phenomenon.
Yeah.
So if we were to dismantle and decenter Europe, if you will, and look at Asia in a way, the fact that coffee first arrives in Istanbul from Yemen, it goes through the Ottoman world, and there are coffee houses in Istanbul well before anything that is in London or Paris, should tell us that Istanbul has precedence in these cases. And these coffee houses in Istanbul, Isfahan, and we understand in Delhi, for instance, are places where people gather to enjoy the drink, but also to talk, socialize, and to express their discontent with the authorities, for instance. And these are recorded, and that should be considered a break away from the medieval models of urban existence.
So this is what Habermas refers to critical public sphere.
Exactly. And we
side
have
of
it.
sociability, reflection,
We have
criticism.
It. We have it. So there was when the Arab Spring arises and Tahrir Square becomes a place for interaction and mobilization, or Shahriyar Square for mobilization of the public. You have it in Isfahan. You have it in Istanbul. We just have really fixated our views onto European narrative and models of modernity. If modernity in Europe is based on strolling the streets, you know, flânerie, flaneur. There is flaneur in Isfahan. In 17th century, not in 19th century. So you get the sense that people are walking around looking at each other, dressed beautifully, and you know, either pretty boys or, you know, whatever the case may be, go to the cafe. Is this not flaneur? But we are fixated on this as a signal of European modernity as the model for the rest of the world. And that needs to be dismantled.
And you have done a great job.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you. It was great talking to you. Thank you.